If you're thinking about ordering an LTZ dually for next year, you might want to watch this video. And although this is a really nice truck, there's a few things that you cannot get on this spec that is available or standard on the High Country. Special shout out to Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City. If you would like to order or purchase one of these trucks, be sure to ask for Ty in the commercial department. This is one that he actually sold. And let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker so you guys can see some of the specs. At the very top are the specs and the colors for this truck. And be sure to pause it for the standard equipment. As far as the base price goes, it's right here at $65,000 even. Duramax was $94.90, and then the LTZ Plus package is right here. Has a lot of great features that come available. And the 18-inch wheels is an option for the LTZ technology package and a few other things, like the LTZ convenience package that continues over here. Destination is $19.95 with a total price of $86,435. So yeah, this truck is almost $90,000. Now, I've done videos in the past on High Country dualies, and they were around 90 grand. Now, the one reason why I would probably jump to a High Country is because, number one, you get front and rear painted bumpers. The 18-inch wheels do come standard on the High Country too. You have the availability to have power deployable running boards. 360 camera comes standard, and also bed view camera comes standard for High Country. And if you're spending about $87,000, you probably could spend about 5 grand more and get the same truck with a little bit more features. But if you don't care about any of the things that I mentioned, well, you do get the chrome bumpers down below, which still look nice. Standard LED headlights and fog lights. This one does have those optional front parking sensors. And if you get this LTZ without that, it does not come with front nor rear parking sensors. If you would like to make the tow hooks chrome, that is an option for the LTZ too. Bold face grille, there's some black accents on the side. And hood scoop is functional, but we'll come back to that in a second. Now, off to the side, I would never order a higher trim level Chevy without these 18s for the dualies. Like, these wheels make this truck, and Ram nor Ford offer anything larger than 17 for their dualies. Michelin tire. When I had my stock tires on mine, this truck was easily getting like 16 miles to the gallon. I mean, maybe a little bit less if you're doing mixed driving, but if you're doing mostly highway, you can get anywhere between 16 to 18 miles to the gallon with these tires. And here's the tire size. LT 235/80 18, and then the capacities are right there, and it is at 80 psi. This one does have these optional running boards, and as I said, you cannot get the power deployables on the LTZ. Some lights on the front here, and then also a reverse light for your trailer. Power top, but this is all manually operated. And I don't believe that this is heated for that lower mirror, but the top one is. Smart key system, chrome door handles, and there's a little bit of chrome around the windows too. Steps on the side of the bed. Now, if you don't need the bed, there is a delete for this truck for about $1,475 or $1,415. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but it's somewhere in there. This is called $1,500. But yeah, you can delete this bed if you like. 36-gallon fuel tank, 7-gallon DEF. And there is an option to get a liner for the wheel well. I believe it's like $300 or $400 for that. Now, when you're looking at a dually, they do change the leaf pack on these trucks. They take a leaf out of the main pack here, and then they add it to your overloads right there. And of course, with the dualies, you do get the 12-inch ring gear out back. You get a more beefed up frame. And then out back, parking sensors, class 5 receiving hitch. You have your camera inputs for your trailer with the 7-pin. This should be power. It is power, so you can put it back up. Fifth row prep package was an option with your 4 and 7 pin. Bed lights are an option on LTZ. And so are these two camera views. One's for the rear view mirror, and then one is for the bed view right here. Okay. There is a light for your conventional hitch down below. And I don't know if I mentioned yet, but this does have a 342 rear. And here's just a better look at the rear wheels. I do like the look of dualies out back. They really do have a nice stance. This Summit White is a nice color too on the dually. I think I would prefer the pearl paint though. But let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about this Duramax. Now, as far as the engine options go, it does come standard with a gas. I probably would not recommend that engine for these dualies because they do not allow for any lower gearing out back. I would like to see maybe a 373 option because in these higher elevations, gas engines do lose about 3% of their horsepower every 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So I personally would just stick with the diesel, or I would maybe consider deleting the bed if you need the extra payload that that gas engine would give you. Now, I'm not sure if that bed would really give you much more than 200-300 pounds of payload, but we will talk about that in a second. But this new Duramax is the L5P Gen 2, 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque, and this does have the 10-speed transmission, and it's labeled the Allison, but it is built in-house by GM. As I mentioned, 342 rear. This truck does have great low-end torque, which was improved by 25% for 2024. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Now, if you are looking at the LTZ, some things that don't come standard for the LTZ is like this Bose sound system. Also, you don't have home link. This camera rearview mirror is an option. Ventilated seats, option. That sliding glass out back is also an option, and you kind of have to get a lot of stuff to get those few features. But obviously, dual climate control does come standard, and you still have the power folding mirrors, which also come standard too. And these large screens do come standard. Heated seats are still there if you don't pick the convenience groups. I do like the fact though that the interior was updated for 2024 because I think that this truck is a home run. I like the layout of everything. You have two USBs on the side there, and they give you hard buttons for the climate control, which personally I like. Push button start would still be there if you don't get these upgraded packages. And I love how customizable this screen is, so you can change the layout, you can add more information in here. For this screen too, if you're ordering your truck, make sure you get the tire pressure monitoring system. It's only $50 for your trailer. So $50 for a 4 tire pressure monitoring system. That is a great deal. Also, high idle. So I can't remember if the window sticker had it on there. So I'm gonna put the parking brake on, and then we're gonna push the stalk down for your cruise control. So yeah, this truck does not have the high idle. It's $200. Personally, I don't know why GM makes that an option. That should come standard on these trucks. I believe that Ford makes it standard, but I do know Ram is standard across the board. Back to the tire pressure monitoring system too. If you do have those sensors set up in your trailer tires, it would show up right here too. So this does have navigation, although you have to have a subscription over the course of time. I think it goes away after like 30 days. So that's the only thing I don't like about this system here, because this is dead. But the good news is you still get wireless Apple CarPlay. This truck does have the center console, which is an option, and the wireless charger for the phone. More USBs, power plugs right there. Let's go ahead and check out the interior for the passenger side. In the glove box, it does show you the truck camper loading information. And you guys can see 4,532 pounds is what this truck can carry in the bed for a RV camper. You can see also it does have the tire pressure monitoring system right there. Up top, they do provide a little bit of storage. And I like the cover too. It has like some perforated leather with some stitching right there. And let's go ahead and check out the rear. Seat backs have storage, and then there's more storage right here, and then down below they provide a little space. Outboard heated seats and USBs out back. And then here is the armrest with some cup holders. And there's two right there. I don't know if I showed you guys, this truck does have the sunroof too. And it does have the lighter color roof, so the only thing that makes it look nice is the stitching around the interior does match that color up top. And there are some hooks right there to hang things. As far as the numbers go, the gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 10.4, which is class leading. 14,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And then all in, this truck does have a pretty good payload at 5,282 pounds. Mine's around like 5,300 pounds, and I don't have half the stuff in this truck. So it's no sunroof, no center console, no ventilated seats. This truck does have spray and bed liner, fifth wheel prep package like mine, but I don't have the bed lights right there. And yeah, it's just missing a few things. Now I want to point out something really quickly. So you can kind of see my dually with the 37s, it does ride like on the center of the tire, and that's the same here with this dually. So with the stock tires, you can kind of see it doesn't really ride on these edges like you can see in the center. So I just want to point that out. So you really do need to be towing a trailer with these trucks if you're looking to buy a dually, because otherwise, you know, the tire's gonna wear out pretty abnormally because it kind of needs that load to get these tires compressed to the ground. But I hope you guys liked the video. Special shout out to Jerry Seiner Chevrolet again here in Salt Lake City. If you would like to buy a truck from them or order, be sure to reach out to them. Let them know you saw the video. See you guys soon. I almost forgot to show you guys the 360 camera view. It's almost worth showing because it's a dually. So you guys can kind of see with the bird's eye view, it shows the hips there. And you have the backup lines too, which makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, I don't have any of this on my dually, so backing mine up is a little harder. But it does make you feel good though, when you don't need all this technology to do things they didn't have 30 years ago, even 15 years ago. And you can change the line out back too, to just a single line for your trailer, and you can actually zoom in to your conventional hitch. By the way, I might as well just show it to you since we're here. Bed view camera's right here. And this can also be zoomed into as well.